Hey you guys, and welcome to another video broadcast. Tonight we are going to be talking about exercise and intermittent fasting. And I'm going to kind of explain to you some of my thoughts and my experience with exercising and especially being new to intermittent fasting. So if you are experienced with intermittent fasting and you're pretty solid on your exercising, hopefully you'll find some tips and tricks in here that you can use as well. My name is Diane, and for the past 25 years I've been helping women with their nutrition and fitness, and really trying to help them dial in a solid nutrition plan and a fitness program that helps them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And for me, over the past 2 years, I have really found a lot of success with intermittent fasting, with helping my body kind of manage some hormonal changes that I have been going through and the inevitable aging process that we all go through as we enter into our 50s. If you are joining me on Facebook, please take a moment to hit that like button and then take an extra step and hit that follow button. You'll see a drop-down menu, and there you will see a section that says receive all notifications. If you click on that, then you'll be notified when I go live, and then you won't miss me here at 9 o'clock. And if you're catching me on YouTube on the video replay, definitely feel free to subscribe. I do upload videos every morning, Monday through Friday, and I have them posted for you at 5:30 every morning, Central Standard Time. Okay, so if you know of a woman who's aging or maybe going through some hormonal changes, or is just frustrated with the fact that her diet and exercise is no longer working for her, definitely feel free to share this broadcast. I'm going to go over some pretty basic stuff, so it's applicable to anyone who is looking to kind of make some changes with their health and fitness, or maybe is struggling with some weight loss issues that might be due to some hormonal changes, or just some difficulties with some things that are going on with their body. Okay. So exercise and intermittent fasting. So if you're new to intermittent fasting, or you're kind of playing around with some protocols, then you'll know that there is a little bit of a learning curve and an adjustment period. And then once you kind of get adjusted to fasting, then your body just kind of takes over and does what it's supposed to do to keep your body energized and keep you in a fat burning state, and really does get your body into a self-healing mode. Then we enter into the exercise part of fasting, because we do want to make sure that we are taking care of our nutrition as well as our fitness. The great thing about incorporating exercise with intermittent fasting is we no longer have to beat our bodies into the ground. You don't have to work out as long, and you don't have to work out as crazy. Now, I'm going to refrain from saying you don't have to work out as hard, because hard is definitely one of those things that we as individuals kind of determine for ourselves. And hard means different things to different people. So I would say you can find a way to work out where you're comfortable with it, and you're going to get results without being miserable, feeling like you have to do something to get results. And remember, dieting is that thing that will change the exterior of our body, and the fact that we will lose body fat and we'll definitely look younger. But fitness and exercise is the thing that will really contour our body and change its shape. And for women, that's a big thing, especially as we age, because gravity takes over, and if you've had a couple kids, things kind of spread out, and we kind of want to get everything nice and tight and pulled back together. And working out is the thing that's going to do that for you. Nutrition does help, like I said, with the fat loss, but fitness is what is going to actually change your physique. And the type of fitness that you choose will change the way your physique looks. And so you want to make sure that when you're diving into some exercise type of program or philosophy, that you know kind of what you're after as far as your physique goes, so you pick the right thing. And for women who are aging, I always highly recommend kind of mixing things up a little bit. I am an avid runner. I love running more than anything in the world, but running just doesn't cut it for me anymore, because I want to make sure that my upper body stays strong, and I want to stay functionally fit for my lifestyle. So over the past couple of years, I have really had to kind of succumb to the truth that I have been avoiding for a while, and I really have had to put in some strength and flexibility exercises, as well as some strength training specifically type of programs, so that I have overall fitness and not just the ability to run, because running was great, and running is sort of what I call my mental therapy, but I want to be able to make sure that I can carry groceries and pick up grandkids and move swiftly throughout my day without hurting myself, and that takes actual training your muscles to help you aid yourself through your life. Okay, so we got all that stuff taken care of. Now, what happens to our body when we start incorporating exercise and we've been fasting? And for me, I took about a 3-month break with exercise life things, and then I hurt my foot falling through the attic, which everyone likes to always bring up. So yes, I did fall through an attic and hurt my foot. So I rested that for about a month. So without planning it, I took about 3 months off of exercise. And I'm deep into fasting. So I'm fasting 20 hours a day, 16 to 20 hours a day. And so what happens when you're switching from burning sugar as a fuel source to fat as a fuel source is your body chemistry changes, and so your exercise feels different. That's just chemistry. And so it does take a little bit of an adjustment to jump back into exercise, or I guess to continue on with exercise if you're not stopping exercising while you're learning how to intermittent fast. Your body's just going to feel different. And so we have to kind of be okay with that. And I always recommend that the first 1 or 2 weeks that you are learning how to intermittent fast correctly, meaning that you're actually getting your body into that true fasted state, you're going to get into that fat adaptation, you're going to go from being a sugar burner to a fat burner, that you should really concentrate on one major change at a time and give your body the true opportunity to adjust to the fasting that you're doing. And then when you've got that nailed down and you've got a good protocol that's working for you, and you've gone through the hard part where you've actually healed your body on some hormone levels, and you've got your hunger hormones under control and everything else is starting to get into that healing process, then I say jump back into exercising so that you don't kind of freak yourself out with having too many things kind of feeling bad or being taxed in your system at the same time. And so when I was trying to learn how to fast and run at the same time, it was horrible. Like, it was really bad for me. I was running with my running partner, and she was like practically dragging me behind her, and I didn't know what was wrong. I felt like I was like literally like running into a wall the whole time. I couldn't get my pace. I could never catch my breath. I felt like I was dragging. And then I felt like, my pride was a little damaged because I don't want to be a slow runner and feel like I'm being drugged behind my running partner. I wanted to be able to hang with her, and I physically just could not. And it was a new thing because we were very equal runners, and then I just kind of started like dragging. And it was because I was really cutting out carbohydrates, and I hadn't really learned my own individual nutritional needs as a faster. And so I had to really play around with my nutrition and my fasting window and my eating window. And then when I found my groove with food and when to place my carbohydrates into my nutritional plan and how to kind of incorporate my fats properly and when I should stop my feasting and when I should start my fasting, then I went right back into being a really efficient runner. And so when I was really good at fasting toward the end of last year and the beginning of this year, I could run 10 miles at a 8:30, 9-minute pace, no problem, where 10 months ago, I could barely run 3 miles at a 10 or 11-minute pace. And it was just that I wasn't fat adaptive yet. And my body had not adjusted to being a good, what I call pro faster, meaning I could jump in and out of fast, and I could manage my nutrition, and I could get my body out of that sugar burning state. And so had I not like put all that together and put those pieces together, then I would have probably quit running, or, I'm a pretty solid runner, so it takes a lot for me to quit. But you know what I mean? It's like you don't want to have to go through those negative thoughts in your mind and self-doubt and, yes, crushed ego for some of us, when it really is just an adjustment period. So if you're kind of finding that your exercise is feeling off, or you're not really able to kind of give it your all like you're used to doing, or I know I'm working with a lot of fitness instructors, so they're teaching multiple classes a day. You got to really be open to playing with some things in your fasting window and your feasting window, and really know when to kind of give and take so that you can sustain the energy level that you need, and experiment. I really teach fasting as a lifestyle way of living with food. And so it's not a short-term thing. So you really have a lot of opportunity to play around and experiment with your food and your fasting and your feasting and your exercising until you get it right. And it took me personally probably 6 months to figure it all out. And I was experimenting with all kinds of different pre-workout formulas and caffeine this and energize that. And what I really find now that I'm very fat adaptive is that I don't really need a lot of those things. I can just work out. And I don't require as much as from my body because I don't panic about working out as a weight loss tool as much as I do just a way to keep my body fit. And that transition for me emotionally and mentally has really helped a lot too, because I would desperately run 10 miles like a mad woman on that treadmill or out on the street because I don't want to feel out of shape and I didn't want to be fat, which is a horrible way to think about exercise. Now I think about exercise as I want to feel strong. I like to feel my body being very tight. I love to feel muscles on my body. I don't want to be ooey gooey. And I love running now for just the pure, simple escapism of getting out of the house and having, 30 to 45 minutes by myself with my podcast in my ears and just doing my thing. And so, my relationship with exercise has changed as positively as my relationship with food has, because it's now a pure joy that I do as my way of treating my body to being strong and healthy and looking fit as a 50-year-old woman, as opposed to desperately working out to try to keep myself from being overweight or self-conscious about certain body parts of mine. And so give yourself some time and some grace with your workouts and really get it to work for you, and get that food and that exercise marriage to work well, and then you'll be unstoppable. Even for my fitness instructors who are teaching 2 or 3 classes a day, you guys can still very efficiently fast if you're getting the right nutrients in you. And I always talk about the whole high fat thing. You want to get the high fat thing and then play with your carbs and make sure that the carbs that you're putting in your body are really good carbs, and watch a lot of those artificial kind of sweetener, watch those artificial pre-workout kind of things that are stimulants full of a bunch of stuff that you might not need, when you could really just kind of supplement your body with some good food. Another thing I wanted to kind of share with you is an experience I had yesterday when I went out for my first run in 3 months, and I thought I was going to die. I purposely did a couple things so that I could share the experience with you and hopefully get you guys to see what we do to ourselves sometimes and what we can kind of try to work on fixing in our own brain. I went out for my run at about 12 here in Texas. It was the heat of the day. It was probably 80 something. I haven't been out running in the heat this season yet. I was running in the winter time and mostly inside because it was cold and not running in the cold. So it was first day of running in the heat. It was noon. It was very hot. I fasted I was on my 14th hour of a fast. I had not even any coffee that morning, just water. So even no caffeine stimulant at all. I went out for a run. I got about 1.5 miles in, and I was running to the top of the hill that I usually sprint up, and I could barely get up. And I started to feel myself sort of get into that self-doubt mode. Fortunately, I run with podcasts blasting in my ear, usually positive messages or something. So it sort of forces me to think positively. And so instead of beating myself up about the fact that this hill that I usually sprint up was now sort of killing me, I turned all my negative thoughts into some positive thoughts forcefully. So it didn't come naturally. I had to catch myself going into that negative self-talk, and I had to force myself into a positive self-talk. And so I turned negative into positive like this. I started feeling myself going negative, and I could feel my body posture sort of cower in and slouch over. And if you're a runner, that's not a very comfortable position to be in. And so I felt my body posture go negative on me. And so I was listening to my podcast and just sort of like escaped into that. And I could feel my body sort of come back up into running posture. And as soon as I felt my body come back into running posture, my running picked up again. And then I just made sure everything that went through my head was logic and positive. And so my conversation went like this. Diane, every first run that you go out on, that's the first one after you've taken a break, feels horrible. You know that. And this is how I talk to myself when I'm running. And if people were to drive past me, they probably think I was crazy. And I just said, you know it's a bad run. Don't beat yourself up. It's the first run out. It's the first run, and you never have to do a first run again. Just go out and run again tomorrow and go run in the next day, and it'll get progressively better. You just took 3 months off, 2 months to take care of a new puppy that you now have this great relationship with, so the 2 months was worth it. And then you took a month off to heal your foot. You deserve to have that time off. You're a great runner. You'll be fine. Just keep running. And my body was up. I was in total running posture, and I walked when I needed to walk, and I ran when I needed to run. I've completed 3 miles on my run. It took me 45 minutes, which is way longer than I used to run 3 miles in. But I felt great when I got home because I was outside. I was in the sun. I caught a sweat on my body through exercise, which is the first time I had done that in 3 months. And I was away from everybody else and just listening to my podcast, and I felt great. Knowing that I'm doing all these great changes for my body, and it was an okay experience. My next run will be way better. I was sore today, which I hadn't been sore from running in a long time because I'd been running multiple miles, and it was crazy how like a little 3-mile run made me sore. And so now I know, like, I'm over that first workout hump, and I can just jump right back, and I have muscle memory of running or doing my Pilates or doing my weight training. My body will come back quickly. So really work on all those positive things that you have the opportunity to say to yourself if you just make the choice to be positive. And stop beating yourself up about how horrible you feel or how bad you've been to your body or whatever it is that you do to yourself. I know I do all those things to myself if I'm not careful. So try to keep it positive. That will energize your body. It will change your body posture. It will put you in a better workout stance, and so you'll get a better workout. And then when you get home, you just praise yourself for whatever it was that you got accomplished, and don't chop yourself down and try to break it apart and how little things weren't perfect. It's okay. You're going to get there eventually. This message is most important to my intermittent fasters that are in my May group, because next week we start talking about working out, and I don't want anyone to feel pressured that they have to start working out this month. You have to heal your body first. And another reason why running was so hard for me about 9 months ago is because I was insulin resistant, and so my body was overproducing insulin, so I was always in a sugar mode. And it was like running off, candy bars or something. It wasn't a very energizing feeling. And now I'm healed. And so when I was running December, January, February, I was running healed, and that's why I could run 10 miles at an 8.5, 9 minute pace consecutively, where 6 months prior to that, when my body was sick, I could barely chug out an 11-minute mile, and I could barely make 3. And so letting your body heal will also give you an opportunity to work out more efficiently and make it feel better when you're working out, because you're not, it's like when you're sick and you're trying to work out, it's like swimming upstream. It's 10 times harder. And when you give your body an opportunity to heal and you're working out, it's going to just be a better experience for you emotionally, psychologically, and physically, because you're not swimming upstream anymore. You're going to actually have an opportunity to create some great change for your body. And your body's going to have the energy that's needed to make that change happen and those improvements happen. So don't beat yourself up if you're not ready to get into working out and you just started fasting. Give your body that time to truly heal. And the great thing about fasting efficiently and fasting properly is you're going to lose weight. And the human growth hormone that your body's going to be like madly producing for you in such an amazing way is going to help you change your physique as well. It'll help you preserve the muscle that you have on your body. You're not going to lose muscle. Fasting does not eat away your muscle. Fasting helps enhance muscle. So don't worry about losing anything. You'll get it back pretty quickly as soon as you're a healed body and you become a fat burner. Because if you can work out fasted, you've just maxed out your opportunity to burn some fat. Okay. I am going to read some comments and answer any questions if we have them here. All my you regulars are here. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Just starting IF. Awesome, Sherry. Keep us posted on your progress. I always love to hear people's success stories. Robin, buenas noches. And Faith has her fitness friends here. I love it. Okay, let's see what else we got. Hello from Denver. We have any questions? Do vitamins kick you out of a fast? I usually take them at bedtime. Vicki, you're probably just starting your fast, probably at bedtime. My thing is always test it out. I personally like to take vitamins at bedtime too. I think I sleep through them. I don't know, psychologically I feel like it gives them a better opportunity to work when I'm rested. Just maybe me, I don't know. But I say just take them at nighttime and see how your fasting progress goes. Your long fast is really when you go to sleep and then how long you push it before you have your meal the next day. So keep taking them at night if that's what you do. Test it out, see if you're kind of feeling fat adaptive, see if you're feeling the results that you're hoping for with fasting, and if you're not, then maybe switch them to the beginning of your feasting window and see if that helps. So you got plenty of time to play with that. Just give it a good test run and see how it works. Girl, I can't list my podcast. It would take forever. I listen to so many. Anything that's positive, I listen to. So I listen to a lot of business podcasts, a motivational podcast. Brenda, nice to have you live as well. Good to see you. Just starting my quest to feeling better and looking better and found you. Oh, Myrna, welcome. Keep us posted on your quest. And if you ever want to jump into our course, just email me. I'll get you the information. I assume lemon water is a no. Okay, Gina. That's another one of those things that a lot of people say they drink lemon water and cayenne pepper and ginger and all that kind of stuff when they're fasting. For some people it works, for some people it doesn't. So that's another one of those things. If it's the only way you can get water in and it kind of like helps you, I guess try it. If it doesn't work, then ditch it. I have a friend who has been putting lime in her mineral water and she's feeling like she's not really getting the fast that she wants, so she's going to kick out the lime for a week and then see if she starts to feel better. So always test those things because everyone's body chemistry is so different. Starting 7th week, not sleeping consistently well. Yep, Gina, most people don't sleep well when they're fasting. Add in some mineral water and anything with magnesium in it will usually help get you back into that good sleeping pattern. I sleep like a rock. Like I fall asleep, I don't move, I wake up 6 to 7 hours later and I'm generally pretty rested. So I would say if you're not sleeping well, try to get some magnesium in. You can do it through mineral water or you can do it through Epsom salt baths. I drink a bottle of mineral water every night before I go to bed and I drink one right when I wake up in the morning and that's helped a lot. So try that. Okay, any specific questions about exercising and fasting? If you're in my May intermittent fasting group, we start talking about exercise next week. If you're already exercising and you're feeling great, I say keep going for it. If you're not exercising and you want to start, I say make sure you're really comfortable with your fasting before you jump into exercise. That's just a whole nother level of discomfort and learning for your body that you might not be ready for yet until your fasting and your feasting windows are solid. Margaret, after listening to you tonight, I'm inspired to try teaching my classes tomorrow morning, not only fasted, but without a pre-workout drink. Yeah, try it, see what happens. Pre-workout drinks are another crutch. And people have to sell stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm not dogging them, trust me, I'm not dogging them at all. Like if a pre-workout formula works for you, I say go for it. I used to have a pre-workout formula that I used to drink before I cleaned the house, before I worked out. Like it was my jam. I drank it every day. It didn't matter what I did. It had a great amount of vitamin B's in it. It put me in a good mood. I loved it. Now they don't make it anymore, and I have been like, I've spent so much money trying to find a pre-workout formula, and then I've just decided I'm just going to go with my body burning its own body fat. And if that means I'm not going to run a marathon at a 7-minute mile, like so be it. I don't care. I'm over it. I'm just going to do as much things as much as I can in a natural state. And I don't really have any plans to work out for hours like I used to. I'm not in a panic state with my body where I have to work out repeated hours in the gym to kind of get the results that I want. 20 to 30 minutes a day is perfect for me. And if I feel like going on a long run and I can manage a long run, then I go on a long run. But that's the way I've always treated my body. And so I just I'm going to go with the flow, and I'm going to stop putting a bunch of stuff in my body that's going to put me into a fake state of well-being. And I'm going to let my body kind of find its own place with its well-being. But it's taken me a long time to get there, and I'm not dogging pre-workout formulas at all. If they work for you and you're getting the results you want and you feel amazing, I say keep taking them. But if you're not feeling amazing and you're feeling like your hormones are a little out of balance or something's off with your body, I'd say ditch the pre-workout formula, because there could be something in it that's throwing your hormones out of whack, and it's just not worth it. It's especially not worth it in the long run. That's another one of those things that we do to our system, that we put in this false state of readiness, and then we require more from our body than our body is really meant to do, right? I mean, a pre-workout formula is meant to make you work out longer and harder. Why? Like, why do we need to do that? When we should just be able to work out to the point where our body feels great. Like, we work our muscles out to the point of fatigue, or we're doing some cardio, we get a nice good amount of cardio in, we monitor our heart rate, make sure we're getting a good cardio workout for our heart, but we don't need to go beyond what our body is capable of doing anymore. It's just crazy. I mean, unless it's your job, like Margaret, let me direct this to you personally. If you have to teach 2 to 3 classes back to back, like, you're going to need something. But try with food for a little bit and see what happens. And then if you have to do some workout formula because that's your job and you need something to sustain you, like, by all means, definitely do what you got to do. Just pick a good one, and pick one that doesn't have a lot of fake ingredients and a bunch of preservatives and stuff in it, and they're out there. You just got to find them. And one that's going to make you feel good and not feel like after effects when you're done working out. So if you need to do it, then yes, by all means do it, because that's your career. And if you got to work out 2 to 3 hours, then yeah, that's what you got to do. And I used to be a fitness instructor. I know how it is when your gym books you for some classes that are back to back, and you've got to go all out because you've got to be there to motivate a bunch of other people to work out. You got to do what you got to do. So find one that works for you. Find one that's not going to throw your hormones out of whack, and find one that's going to make you feel good after you're done working out as well. So I hope that helps, Margaret. I wasn't trying to dog pre-workout or anything, but yeah, try it fasted and see what happens. When you guys are in your fasted state, like seriously fasted, and you can really get a good workout rhythm, oh my gosh, there is no faster way to get results. Like, you will literally change your physique in days. Stuff will start changing on your body because your body's already tapping into that fat for fuel, and then you add some really good workouts into that. It is amazing. So don't cheat yourself out of that opportunity, and you don't have to beat yourself into the ground, and you don't have to work out for extended amounts of time. You could really do it in a controlled environment and just get a good physique workout in. That's all we need to do, and do them purposely so that you're protecting your body from injury down the road. We want to do some strength training for women to offset those osteoporosis situations. We want to work out to kind of help with the Alzheimer's offset. So there's specific reasons why we want to work out, and if we're fasting right and we're working out right and we're feasting with the right kind of foods, we are going to have an amazing physique along with a very fit and healthy physique that's going to withstand the test of time. And that's really what we want to do. We don't want to be injuring our backs. We don't want to be blowing out knees. We don't want to have hip replacements. We want to just do enough exercise to make sure that all those supporting ligaments, and that we're not blowing out any joints, and that we're just going to be healthy and happy so that we can swing with our grandkids or kids in the park, and we can play in a pool, and we can go on vacation with our spouse and not have to worry about being in a walker or not being able to go on a hike or whatever it is that we dream of doing today, and we hope we can do 10 years from now. That's the purpose of all this, to keep ourselves healthy for that. Okay, if there's no other comments or questions about working out in fitness, I will let you guys go. Let's see, let's see, there's a couple more here. Let me see what we got. Okay, thanks. Been doing 14 hours on teaching days. Perhaps ultimately that's better. I'll test it all out. Yes, so Margaret, on days that you don't teach, make that your long fast. And the days that you do teach, make that your short fast. And then just switch up your carbs a little bit. So when I was running really well, I was having a sweet potato at night before I'd wake up and run, and then I would run fasted. So a sweet potato is a great thing to have the night before you teach, so that you have those kind of those good carbs in your system that you can work off. Or even some brown rice or something like that the night before, go for it. Okay, how long after a fasted workout would be a good time to eat? I started my fast at 1 p.m. today. Could it be several hours afterwards or immediately? Does that even matter? I want to go as long as possible. Okay, how long after a fasted workout? Okay, so there's all these philosophies about you're supposed to have protein an hour after you work out and all that kind of stuff. I say if you're not doing anything too intensely, then you should be okay. I would stay in a fasted state as long as you can. Like, I personally see and feel the most benefits when I'm fasted in the evening, fast through the night, wake up, work out, shower, do my stuff, have my water, and wait as long as I can to get a meal in. Like, and I know it sounds crazy, but I can feel fat, like, seriously dropping off my body. And so I personally like that feeling, and I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder, so I don't worry about bulking up or any of that kind of stuff, so I don't really worry about, putting protein and fat in my body after I work out. Like, I don't feel like I need it. If I were to go out and run on a hot day and I came back and I felt like completely drained and I needed to put some minerals back in my body, then I would probably drink some mineral water or do something to kind of just replenish my system. But that would have to be probably more than an hour-long run. It would have to be a really hot day before I would feel that way. So again, on a day where you feel like you have to eat after a workout, give your body some grace and just eat something. Just make sure it's a good food choice. If you feel like you don't have to eat, then go as long as you can, because that's just another opportunity for your body to be in that fat burning mode and to suck that fat right out of your body. And it will also give your body an opportunity to heal. So give it that opportunity. Always listen to your body and don't make such hard and fast rules that you can't give your body what it needs on a particular day, because every day our body chemistry is different and you can't judge tomorrow based off what you did yesterday. Tomorrow's going to be a whole new day and you have no idea what your body chemistry is. So always listen to your body and make decisions on any given day. Just make good decisions. Teaching days might be good for those days. Yes, Margaret, you're thinking along the right lines, and then you want to just experiment with it and then see, how things go for you, and then see if you can find a good teaching, fasting, feasting window, because it's your job and you do owe your students the most energized, peppy version of you and your teaching. And so just find your groove. And the beautiful thing about intermittent fasting is you can also make it flexible. So incorporate the flexibility into it as well and find your groove, because you don't, here's my big thing that I always try to teach. Fasting should fit your lifestyle. Your lifestyle should not have to change in order for you to fast. So live that. Make sure that what you're doing to be a faster and be an efficient faster and be a healthy faster should always work around what you have going on in your life, and be flexible with it and be intermittent with it. That's how you make this a lifestyle and not a short-term diet, right? You have to have some flexibility in there, and then you have to have some grace with your body and listen to what your body's telling you, and then respond to it in a kind way. So if your body's screaming at you that it needs food, give it good food. Don't fill it full of junk, and don't fill it full of empty calories that don't have any nutrients in it. Always make sure you have some nutrient-dense food available to you. And Margaret, you bought our little shake. A shake is a perfect thing for you to have before a workout or between workouts to kind of get your body going. And if you make it with just water and ice, the calories and stuff will stay pretty low, and it'll help you kind of maintain what it is that you need to maintain, as well as replenish your body. So kind of keep that in mind. And if you want me to personally help you with fixing that in, then I'll definitely help you with that, so you can make that work for you. You can use it like a tool. Okay, anything else? I think that's it. Amy, you're here late. We're about to jump off, girlfriend. Okay, so I'm going to bust out of here. Thanks so much for joining, you guys. If you have questions about fasting and working out, and it comes up after this, and you want to ask me, definitely feel free to leave them in the comments. You guys know I always go back and review the comments. And if you are on YouTube and you're catching this and you have some comments or personal experiences you'd like to share about your feasting and your working out, and your fasting and your working out, definitely feel free to share those, and then we'll get those answered. And if it's something that's personal that you don't want to be shown in public, always feel free to private message me on Facebook or YouTube, or you can always send me an email address, and I will see what I can do to kind of help you out of a bind. I've had great experiences with working out and fasting, and I've had horrible experiences with fasting and working out, so I can give you kind of both perspectives, and I can share with you some of the things that I've done to tweak it, to make it work for me. And then always, always, always put yourself in a positive mental posture, so that your body will also adapt to a positive posture. And you'll be amazed at how much more energy that'll bring to you, because you're up and you're into it and you're focused and you're centered on what the good is that you're doing for your body, and not the negative that your mind is doing to you. And if you have to change what it is you're listening to, or start listening to some things when you're working out, if that kind of helps you keep your mind in a positive self-talk place, then do that as well. It works for me because I can beat myself up very easily. It's just the way I'm wired. And so I have to very purposely seek out some opportunities to not let that happen, or it, you know, it just gets ugly for yourself. We deserve better than that. So you got to kind of create that habit to be positive and feed yourself with that positivity so that you can kind of be the best version of you for what you need to do for your life and the people who love you. Okay, so I'm going to jump off, and tomorrow night, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Sometimes the topic comes up to me throughout the day through some things that I've experienced. If you have something that you would like me to address on your behalf, I would be willing to do that. I always keep them anonymous so no one will know that it's your concern, and we can see if we can get some of your personal things answered here as well for everyone to benefit from. So I will see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're looking to join one of my courses, we have June enrollment open. I said last night, and I'm going to say it again here today, we will cut off enrollment early this time. We're only going to take a specific number of people so that we can make sure that everyone gets treated the way they need to be treated. And we have a number, I'm not going to say what it is, and then when we hit that number, we'll just close registration. So definitely get on sooner than later so that you don't end up getting kind of cut off before we close out. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for joining me.